Okay, so I'm Danielle, and I want to talk to you guys about happiness. So happiness defined is the state of mind of or feeling characterized by contentment, satisfaction, pleasure, or joy. So, there are a couple other words that are synonymous with happiness that are often used interchangeably. Life satisfaction, an individual's perceived level of well-being and happiness. So basically, how a person understands their level of happiness. And then subjective well-being, which is often a measure that's often something that's measured in people. So an individual's current evaluation of his or her happiness. So obviously, all three of these words are very similar and can often be used interchangeably. So I want to look at the top 10 happiest countries from the 2012 World Happiness Report. So Denmark, a country of about 5.5 million people. It's a really small country, up above Germany, right under Sweden. It's about the size of Florida, so it could take you about 5 hours to drive from one coast to the other. So not many people are normally surprised to find out that Denmark is number one, just because it's not really known for anything else. And then the United States is down at number 11. So take a look at why are the Danes the happiest people in the world? For a few possible reasons. So first, I want to talk about income and its relationship to happiness. So oftentimes people believe that money buys you happiness. So people are often striving to earn more money because they think it's going to buy them more happiness. But the research has found that this isn't really true. Research has found that as income rises, so does your emotional well-being, but at a certain level, it doesn't rise anymore. So basically, once you hit a level where all your basic needs are met, you're able to provide food for yourself, shelter, security, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It doesn't matter if you're right at that level or if you're a millionaire. It doesn't affect how happy you are. So, what do you think this magic number is of how much money you need to be happy? And then it's not going to make you happy. So you can text your answers. You should do it. Oh, you can't vote twice. Okay. Well, these are your answers. So, you guys are pretty on point. Pretty close. 75,000 is the right answer. So that's the magical number. So basically, research has found that if once you hit the $75,000 income level, you don't get any happier than that. Or money doesn't affect your happiness level after that income. So, if money doesn't make us happy, then what does? Research has found that doing something meaningful and fulfilling has a huge impact on your level of happiness. So that means having a job in which you're passionate about, and no matter what it is, it could be accounting or teaching, whatever is meaningful to you, that's going to have a huge impact on your happiness levels. So, back to the Danes. What does this have to do with why they're the happiest people? Well, they're all on similar economic levels because they pay 50% taxes. Um, it gives them more of a reason to do what they love rather than what makes the most money, because they're going to have to pay so much of their income back in taxes. It doesn't really make much sense to strive for a job that solely makes a lot of money. So, for example, I studied abroad in Denmark this past summer, and as a part of my class, we had to volunteer at a school. So I worked with the kids aged 3 to 6, and basically they would be at recess the whole time, so we would just talk to the teachers about their job. And it was really surprising because it was a preschool and there were as many male teachers as female teachers. And so one day we were kind of talking to one of the male teachers about, why he's a teacher, everything. And he spoke so passionately, it was really surprising. He said, "I'm so happy that I live in Denmark and I might not make a ton of money, but I come to work every day and I'm just so happy to be here and spend my time with these kids." And it was like amazing to hear a guy talk so passionately about his job, because you don't hear that as much here in America. So, besides money and meaningful and fulfilling jobs, what else could make the Danes the happiest people in the world? Surprisingly, low levels of expectations. So, the Danes are surprised every year to find out that they're the happiest country in the world. So when they're interviewed about this phenomenon, they tell them that their country is the happiest country in the world. They're like, "What?" They're like, "I mean, we can't be number one." They're like, "I would expect us to be like top 25, but not number one." So year after year, they're pleasantly surprised to find out that the state of Denmark is not getting more rotten. And it's actually pretty logical if you think about it. So if you expect the weather to be bad, which it often is in Denmark, especially in the winter, there's like 5 hours of light, and it's freezing. So if you expect the weather to be bad and then it turns out good, you're surprised. You're pleasantly surprised and happy. But if you are expecting the weather to be bad and it does turn out bad, you're not disappointed because that's what you're expecting. So those are a few reasons why Denmark is the happiest country in the world, and I hope you take away some life lessons about how to be happy.